To part 2 of the Alpha Models 124th Audi RS7 Sportback build. Picking up where we left off last time, and we're going to carbon fibre all the parts that we primed in black. So the carbon is pre-cut in the kit, which is a massive bonus with these kits. It saves a lot of faffing around. All you need to do is carefully apply the carbon in the usual decaling manner and get everything set in place. So into some water, get them laid in place where you want them, hit them with decal solution of choice. Mine is the Ultimate Decal Solutions, and in particular today the Strong. And just hit it up, let the decal solutions do their work, and get everything formed in place. Now, I work on multiple pieces at once when there's small parts like this. So we've got the front splitter decaled, letting the decal solution do its job while we do the mirrors at the same time. Like I say, they are all pre-cut to size, which is a massive bonus. You may just need to double check the way everything fits. You may need a little bit of trimmage, but for the most part, it's get it in place, hit it with your decal solution, let the decal solution soften the decal, and manipulate it in place. Fairly simple. It certainly saves messing around with your own carbon fibre, trying to get it in the correct shape. Heat is very beneficial as well. Our heat gun coming into massive use here. So just gently warm the decal, make sure you don't melt the resin. And once you've got it in place, you can then use your finger to fold over the decal, get it set in place, and then one final application, a decal solution, will set it in place for good. So you just need to make sure this is fully bedded down where you want it. There's a top and a bottom to this. Unfortunately, I only show the bottom on this today because otherwise we'd literally be here for an entire video. Carbon fibre and all these parts. I kind of cherry picked some important parts to show, like the wing mirror, getting that in place, getting it all bent over and into shape. Like I say, you're not going to do this in one succession. It's going to take a full application to decal solutions and even maybe multiple heat applications to get it set in place. The side skirts, these are done in 2 pieces, so I would suggest doing the bigger piece first, get it all set in place, and then go with the side piece. Just follow the instructions, cut a piece out at a time, make sure you put it in the right spot, and like I say, just your standard decal solutions, standard decal procedure, get everything laid down. The decals are very good. They are hobby design decals, which have always been very well behaved for me. So no qualms here in getting these down. Just some nice decal solution application and patience. Patience is key with decals like this. And we get a cotton bud, burnish it all down to all the seams and recesses very carefully. And not only cotton bud, a useful tool, the finger is as well. Helps to conform all the edges over and get it set in place. This is probably the trickiest part on the kit. This rear kind of diffuser surround. It is very, very tricky, but just get it all lined up. Just get it sat in place where you need it. Hit it with your decal solutions. Leave it be for 5 or 10 minutes. Come back and just keep manipulating it in place with decal solutions until you get it set. Don't be afraid to move the decal around as well when you got decal solutions on. You can do for some time afterwards. But obviously the more you do, the more you'll get to know your decal solutions and how far you can push the parts. But like I say, get the decal solutions on, let the parts sit there for a bit and soften up. And like I say, a little bit of heat works wonders. Just on thin parts like this, less is more, because we don't want to be absolutely deforming the resin or melting it out of existence, because it's very easy to do. And there we go, that's our part all decal. Just a final one over the fingers to make sure it's all set in place. Quite a worrying part to do this one. It actually turned out to be pretty easy. Now, we did have a few damaged parts on the kit. We've got the instrument binnacle surround. Had a big chunk missing out of it. So, yep, I've got it luckily. A little bit of CA glue. We can pop it in place. Once dry, we can give it a light sand with a UMP 220 sponge sander. So it's just a case of getting it to fit back in as good as possible. Which, to be fair, that isn't that bad a fit. Like I say, leave it to dry and then give it a sand over with a sander to try and blend it into place. And one of the seatbelt buckles had broken off as well. So a little bit of CA glue, pop that in place, job done. Now, we've got to mount all these parts ready for primer. So we're going to use a combination of mounting techniques. First off, if there's any pour plugs, we need to clean them off. So I use an old pair of Zoron sprue cutters to get the majority off, and then UMP sanding sticks to get the excess resin off. Resin sand's very easy compared to plastic, so be very careful you don't remove too much, you don't remove all your hard work, and just take your time and keep checking. Less is more. You will sand off a lot more than you think very quickly with resin. Like I say, we're going to use various mounting methods. We've got the old crocodile clips on sticks to hold parts like this. We've also got our drill, which will drill in strategic thicker points, like so, and use a cocktail stick to hold the part. We can also glue smaller parts on the cocktail sticks as well. And thankfully, Alpha Models leaves a lot of the parts on their sprues in the right direction to be sprayed. So quite often they can be left on the pour stub. And for parts like this, some double-sided tape in a part that doesn't need painting works ideal. These 3M pads are invaluable. And there we go. Same for the interior tub as well. And the wheels, just once they're cleaned up, onto crocodile clips, ready for paint. And then we're going to go through and sort everything out. So I have several part holders here, and I sort them out into different orders. So the top right one is for metallics. The bottom one is for interior colours. So basically the leather interior colours. The top one will be for black, and I will intermix with the interior colour any parts that need to be a different colour. So like the brake calipers, which are going to be red, will go on there. And this just makes priming and painting a lot easier because you know exactly what needs priming in what colour and what is going to be painted, basically painted in batches. Now I moved things around a bit here because I didn't have as many parts as I thought. So the larger one becomes the interior part now. The top one is still the metallics, and that right one is for anything that's semi-gloss black or colour. In the booth we've got some Mr. Surfacer 1500 black, and we're going to lightly prime all the parts. We've got my Iwata HPC Plus. Is it a Plus? No, it's HPCH. Is my Iwata 0.3mm needle I just use for any general spraying. So usually on interior parts, running gear and what have you. So all these parts will get a light couple of coats of Mr. Surfacer 1500 black. This is thinning about 60% with Mist Hobby Level and Thinner, and we're spraying at about 18 psi. So like I say, a couple of coats of this will do the job there. Same on the interior tub as well. We will flock this later on too. But for now, we just need to get everything primed, painted, ready for detail painting and assembly. So the Mr. Surfacer primer covers really quick. It does cover really, really well. And the same on our floor pan as well. There we go. Great coverage. Couple of coats there will cover that. Just make sure you go at those angles. There's quite a bit of detail under this one. I don't tend to spend a lot of time underneath the Alpha models because I never ever look at them. It's probably a bit of a shame not to do it, but yeah, very rarely do I do anything underneath of them. Wheels getting primed in black as well. We're going for gunmetal on the wheels, so making sure we've got the right primer colour. Now I strip these later on because I've actually forgotten to put the photo etch parts on. So while we're priming them here, we are going to strip them off later. Then all these parts, which are going to be metallics and LP5, are all getting primed in Mr. Surfacer black as well. So there we go. And again, like I say, these pour stubs that have all the parts on are absolutely fantastic. The parts are usually orientated in the right way, so you can get them all painted nice and easily. The brake calipers, we're going with red, so we're priming in pink. It's actually Tamiya pink primer. I have a ton of Tamiya spray cans to use that I bought before ProScale was even a thing. So I am using them up as we go. So a couple of coats of the Tamiya pink primer on the brake calipers. Like I say, we're going to do these in brake caliper red later on. And the same on the rear calipers as well. Really small rear calipers on this car. Quite a lot smaller than I thought they'd be, to be honest. There we go, just another quick coat to get the coverage. The Tamiya paints do like to go on a little bit wetter. They are the kind of minority in the paint world that likes to go on wet. They tend to settle a lot better when they've been put on as a wet coat. Interior, we're painting in, again, this is Tamiya white primer. This is decanted from the can like the pink. So a couple of coats on these parts. Be very careful here. Very hard to see the white primer on the white yellowish resin. So nice light thin coats. Don't be overdoing it. You're better off with multiple passes and not flooding the area. And there we go. There's all the prime parts. We'll leave those in there to dry before we come back for some paint later on. And like I say, I did make a mistake with the wheels, and I haven't put all these PE trim pieces on, so I stripped them with some Mr. Hobby leveling thinner. And here we are, popping them all in place. Apologies for the head getting in the way. But a little bit of CA glue, get these little segments in place. There's 5 per wheel, 20 in total. So a little bit fiddly, they need some clean up. So cutting off the fret, cleaning up with the Zuron shears and diamond file. Tamiya diamond file. And then a little bit of CA glue, we can get them glued in place. And there's one wheel done. Just 3 more to go, and they are done. So yeah, silly me for not spotting this, but hey, at least the resin's easy to strip. And we can go back and reprime these in Mr. Servicer Black again as soon as everything's dried. Just hold everything in place, and then a little bit of acetone on a pointed cotton bud, just to remove any excess CA glue from the white metal, from the photo etch. And there we go, nice neat work, ready for primer. And here we go, we're in the spray booth again. Apologies. And we've got some Pro Scale Oyster White. So I think the white on the purple car will look really nice. I think it'll pop well. This is like an off-white, so it's not as in your eyes white as a pure white would be. It lays down really well, really nice coverage. Once we're going to wash in those seats, because the seats have got some absolutely stunning detail on them, they're going to look absolutely fantastic. So there we go. We're through the iWater HPC Plus again. Or HPCH. I can't remember if this is a Plus or was it HPCS. I forget what bloody airbrush it is now. I don't know. Anyway, it's an iWater HP. In fact, I'm going to look. Whilst you're still there and I'm still painting, I'm going to look what it is. It's an HPC Plus. I thought it was. See, I thought I was going mad. Anyway, my iWater HPC Plus doing great work here, getting the oyster white leather down. You can see it's a slight off-white colour, so perfect for this purple interior. And 2 to 3 light coats, builds it up nice and progressively. And yeah, looking really good. Like I say, those seats have got some fantastic detail on them. Once we get a wash on them, they will really pop. So for the contrasting colour, we've got Pro Scale Napa Black Leather. So one of my favourite colours is it's like a grey black leather colour. I think this two-tone with the oyster white will make a nice interior combination. So several light coats, probably 3 light coats of this, building it up on all the parts applicable. We've got some Pro Scale bright aluminium on the rear lights. So a couple of coats of this give us a nice light cluster colour for our rear lights and front lights. Lays down absolutely beautiful. I love our metallics. They are so finely pigmented. They are absolutely beautiful. If you've not tried them yet, I highly recommend it because they lay down so well. And then Pro Scale gunmetal on the wheels. So make sure you get all the angles on the wheels, as well around the edge of the rim where the tyre goes and underneath, because you can see through a lot of the wider spoked wheels. So just build it up nice and slow, getting all those angles. I'm not putting a lot of paint down here at all. 90% of that is going past as overspray. So I am just gently painting those wheels. And as you see, the coverage is really nice off the metallics. And as I say, they are super finely pigmented. So yeah, they look absolutely stunning. Absolutely beautiful. And again, I think the gunmetal wheel will contrast well with the purple. Some of the cars have black wheels with the diamond cut edge. I kind of wanted something a bit different, and I saw this on another car with gunmetal, and I thought, you know what, that looks really good. The exhaust we're doing in titanium silver. So again, a couple of coats of this, getting all those nooks and crannies and recesses. Absolutely beautiful. Stunning colour. Really nice rear exhaust on this. I bet this thing makes some absolutely beautiful noise on full speed. They have a very distinctive burble, don't they, Audis? But yeah, great colour this. We've got titanium gold and silver. This being the silver. And yeah, they are absolutely beautiful. Photo etch. Lots of photo etch, which is part of the build of these kits. Lots of photo etch to clean up. So cut off with the Zoran shears, you can see on the right hand side. Cleaned up with the Tamiya diamond file to get rid of the little sharp nubs. We're mounting them all on a tongue depressor with some masking tape on. And we will etch prime them in a bit with ProScale Etch Prime. So again, take your time here. Try not to deform the parts. Some of the PE is thicker than others. Some of it is easily damaged. These grills are super thin. So take your time here. And if you are using the shears to cut as close as possible, make sure you don't cut too close and cut a sliver off. Like I said, I've got ProScale Paint's Photo Etch Primer. It's especially formulated for photo etch. It will not clog and fill all the very fine grills. And it just lays down and gives a proper acid etch primer coat to the metal. Now, it's not impervious. It will scratch off, but it's a lot more durable than just normal primer. I just moved a part there, so I'm just moving it back. So yeah, this will chemically etch itself to the metal. We're through my Iwata CR3. We're about 18 psi. I'm just going to put a couple of light coats down, just building it up slowly. You don't need to hose this stuff on at all. And like I say, it's formulated especially for PE, so it doesn't fill all the fine mesh on those grills or fill any detail on the surface detail at all. Works brilliantly. Dries almost instantly. You can paint this almost straight away, no problem at all. And of course, we've got the brake discs to do as well. There's a lot of PE of this kit. These are mounted separately because these are going to be carbon ceramic. All the ones on that first stick will be LP5. These are going to be carbon ceramic from ProScale. And again, you can see how quickly and easily that primer goes down. There we go. We've got the parts at the top. And these window surrounds, which will be gloss black as well. So again, a couple of light coats of the primer. Covers absolutely beautiful. It's a joy to spray this stuff. It really is. And like I say, it dries lightning fast. A couple of coats is all you need. Just make sure you get all the angles. And then finally, the trademark piece of Alpha Models, the photo etch window wipers. Sorry, Philip, no building of these today. I've shown enough lately, so that bit was cut out. But here they are all built up and getting a bit of etch primer on them. So not too bad to build. The photo etch wipers, they always look really intimidating. They're actually really easy to build. I think they're more of a problem getting them glued in place, personally. So I actually don't mind building these anymore. I used to hate the things. But yeah, they're just part of the kit now. Nice and easy to do. Like I say, attaching them to the vehicle itself is more difficult. With the etch primer dry, we've got ProScale Paint Carbon Ceramic. So this will simulate the carbon ceramic brake discs that come with a lot of modern day performance cars. And like I say, a couple of light coats of this, building it up. Very, very heavily pigmented colour that gives that carbon ceramic look. Couple of coats, get all the angles in the edges. There we go. Beautiful. Looking good. There we go. And then on all these parts, just a bit of Tamiya LP5 semi-gloss black. Just again, build it up nice and slow. Then onto the other speaker grills. Again, a couple of coats of LP5. There we go. And then onto the window wipers again, and a couple of coats on these as well. Tricky to do these, there's lots of angles to get, so make sure you get them from every angle you can think of, every direction, because they are pretty tricky to spray these and get them all properly coated. And then on those window surrounds, we've got GX2 from Mr. Hobby, which is a gloss black. As you can see, we're taking all the speaker grills off so they don't go glossy. And it takes about 3 coats of this stuff. I find 2 tack coats and a final wet coat works perfectly on this stuff. And there we go. With the brake calipers dry, we've got some nice RS decals to go on. So these are popped on, usual decal manner, get them in place, get the moisture out from behind, hit them with your decal solution of choice. Again, mine will be the ultimate strong solution. And then once dry, we are going to clear coat these along with the carbon fibre we did earlier in Pro Scale 2K. So there's the front ones done. And here's one of the back ones done as well. The red will come alive once it's clear coated. And the final touch on the wheels is the centre cap decals. So these are water slide metallic decals. So apply them just like any other water slide decal, except I find I don't need any decal solutions. They tend to hold themselves in place really well. Just get them in place, hit them with a Q-tip, cotton bud to get them set. And there we go. While we're there, we've got some Tamiya X18 enamel black, and we're going to do the road wheel nuts and the tyre valves, which are built into the wheels on this. So load up a cocktail stick, the flat end of it, and just literally lightly touch where the road wheel nut is. And there we go. And then we've got some decals for the interior as well. Like I say, quite a lot of decals for this, quite a few carbon decals as well. So we've got the instrument cluster in place there. And then there's 2 decals either side of the instrument cluster as well. So they're popped in place like so. And then the center console has this silver edge decal. So I started to put this in place and thought, you know what? I'm going to pop this on its part to make it easier to hold. So glued in place, made it a lot easier to get it to conform and in place properly, because I had a bit more of a substantial hold of it. And then a little detail piece to go there as well around the gear selector. And then the shifter, the flappy paddle shifter, has a decal on it too. Now, there is a chrome piece, there's a photo etch piece to go around this, but work smarter, not harder. I've got these Edding paint pens, which are fantastic. These are not like a marker pen, these are a true paint marker pen, and these metallics are absolutely beautiful. They must be enamel based because they take forever to dry, so it's not something you'll be touching, but for jobs like this, yes, absolutely perfect for it. Dashboard has this little centerpiece in as well that has a decal in it, so it's just say glued in place in hell for a minute or so. And again, nice big decal to go on here as well, so get that set in place as per all the other decals. And then there are several components to be glued in place. Just refer to the instructions that come with the kit, and a little dab of CA glue will get them all glued in place where they need to be. Center of the steering wheel has got 2 very tiny decals for the controls, so be careful of these, they're a little bit fiddly. Get them in place, and then the Edding paint pen, we're going to go around this as well because it has silver trim on the real car. Like I say, these pens are not cheap at all. You can see it's an Edding 751 silver paint marker. They're about £7 or £8 each, £6, £7, £8 each, but they're absolutely fantastic for this job. Like this surround here, all you do is just touch it lightly. If you get any excess on there, because it's enamel based over lacquer, it'll just wipe off with a cotton bud. I think I'll show that in a second. I do, there we go, get a pointed one. And you'll see, look, just a quick rub, off it comes. Job done. Nice and simple. Really big fan of these marker pens. They are absolutely fantastic. Then we've got our airbag in place there as well. This has an Audi emblem and a chrome surround to go in place as well. Get the instrument cluster glued in place. Like so. And then the instrument stalk. So the indicators, window wiper controls, all separate on this. Very fiddly to do, but it saved me knocking them all off because I normally snap these off when handling the parts. So yeah, whilst fiddly, worthwhile. Fluffy paddle shifter can go over the top, and the steering wheel over the top in that, held in place with a little tiny dab of CA glue. Get it all nice and straight. And then we put a dab of CA glue underneath the dashboard where this sits. And pop the wheel in place, hold it for a second or two and let the CA glue grab. And there we go, there's our dashboard. It looks alright. I'm more than happy with it. Could it be better? Yeah. Could it be worse? Yeah. So I'm more than happy with that. Speaker grills on our door cards. So a new thing I found is this Tamiya Craft Bond. It's a PVA based glue, but unlike other PVA based glues, it comes out really tacky from the bottle. You'll see it now. Look, it's really thick consistency out the tube. So that means it grabs things instantly. Now, it's not as strong as CA glue, but it's a lot more forgiving. And because it's water-based, you can literally use a moist cotton bud to wipe any excess off. So, getting this speaker grill in place, I just pop it in place. Get a cotton bud, which I definitely won't lick. Nope, didn't lick it at all. Nope, still not licking it. No, where's that bloody lollipop? And there we go. We can wipe that too. And yeah, really liking this Craft Bond. It's really got its uses, and I'll definitely be expanding the areas that I use it, where I usually use CA glue. Yeah, very good. Not the easiest to find and not the cheapest, but typical Tamiya product, very high quality. Now, we popped a Tamiya grey panel line wash in these seats, and just look at the detail. They are beautiful. Absolutely stunning seats, very, very nicely detailed. So we've let it dry. We've got a cotton bud with some Sansador from Winsor & Newton, which is an odourless mineral spirit. We're just wiping off the excess, and then we get a clean piece of kitchen paper and fully wipe off any excess. And yeah, I think it goes really well with the white leather. I think it goes really well. I think it really accents the detail of the seat. Like I say, absolutely beautiful seats. Really nice detail molded into these. And there we go. On the back seats, exactly the same. Cleaned up with a clean piece of kitchen paper. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, the detail on the seats actually surprised me. And I very nearly didn't put a wash in them. I thought, you know what, if I don't put a wash in those, it's like a crime. It really is, because they are absolutely stunning. So I'm glad I did, because it added quite a bit of detail to the interior. Now, we've got several components to apply to the door cards. We've got these leather pieces at the top. I did toy with doing these white. And looking at now, I kind of wish I would have. Or I had of, rather. But too late. Hindsight's a wonderful thing. But it still looks good. So these leather pads, well, what would be leather pads in real life, glued in place. Then the door handles themselves, which are in the oyster white. Now, this is a place where in future I'll be using the Craft Bond, because I know it's got more than enough purchase to hold these parts in place. But yeah, nice contrasting white leather on the black. Like I say, I think those pads at the top would look better in white, but it is what it is. The CA glue precision nozzles, just absolutely invaluable. And we've got these nice chrome, well, silver trim pieces to pop in place. Again, add a nice bit of highlighting. So front and back. And there we go, there's the door card done. Looking very nice. And then rear seats glued in place, center console glued in place. Interior's been flocked. My wonderful assistant Hannah has flocked it with Pro Scale black flocking. And then we just pop our seats. Remember, the seats are handed. Seatbelt buckles will go in the middle. Rear seat was glued in, but not quite enough CA glue, so I popped it out and popped this back in. We've got the seatbelt buckles in place on the rear seats now as well. I detail painted the buckles and the seat controls on the front seats, and we've added some components into the top of the rear seats as well. And just a quick test fit of the dashboard and door cards to see how it looks. And yeah, it's a good looking interior. Really happy with the colour combination. I think it looks really well. And that's it. That's where we're going to leave this part for today. We'll be back with part 3 very, very soon. Thanks for watching today. And as always, thanks to my wonderful patrons whose names will pop up at the end of this video.